If someone had told me years ago that I would leave behind everything I knew, my career, my social life, and the comfort of modern city living, to move to a remote village in the Arctic, I would have laughed. It sounded like something out of a novel, not my reality. But life has a way of steering us toward what we truly need, even when we don't realize it at the time. I want to share my journey with you. Not because I have all the answers, but because I know how it feels to be lost, to chase an idea of happiness that never quite satisfies. And if you've ever felt that way, maybe my story can offer some perspective. The illusion of the perfect life. For years, I lived what many would consider an ideal life. I studied my dream career at a prestigious university. I was doing well academically, and I had a clear path ahead of me. But something wasn't right. City life, with its constant noise, social expectations, and unrelenting pressure drained me. Simple tasks, like commuting, working in an office, or making small talk, felt overwhelming. The exhaustion wasn't just mental. I felt it in my body. Chest pains, sleepless nights, a quiet voice inside me whispering, "This isn't your path." Doctors diagnosed me with anxiety and depression. They prescribed medication, told me to manage stress. But how do you manage a life that isn't yours to begin with? Searching for meaning in all the wrong places. Like many others who feel lost, I turned to travel. I spent all my savings visiting new places, immersing myself in different cultures, and chasing the idea that if I just went far enough, I'd find what I was looking for. I didn't, because what I was searching for wasn't in another country, another city, or another experience. It was within me. But I was too afraid to sit still long enough to face that truth. The moment, everything changed. One day, on a whim, I did something even I didn't fully understand. I left. I quit my job, packed my things, and moved to a small cabin in northern Finland, a place I had never been before. My family and friends thought I was losing my mind. Maybe I was. But for the first time, I wasn't running away. I was running toward something. I just didn't know what it was yet. Learning to live differently. Moving to the remote north was not a fairy tale. Life was hard. There were no conveniences, no shortcuts. I had to chop wood for warmth, carry water, and deal with isolation. The winters were brutally dark, the summers brief. But in that struggle, I found something unexpected. Peace. When I was busy with physical labor, my mind was finally still. The constant worries that had plagued me in the city started to fade. There was no rush, no pressure to perform. For the first time in years, I felt truly present, discovering who I really am. In solitude, I confronted a truth I had ignored for years. I was not weak, shy, or overly sensitive. I was simply built differently. My heart needed quiet, my mind needed space, and my soul needed nature. The city wasn't for me, and that was okay. I had spent years trying to force myself into a mold that society considered successful, but success means different things to different people. For me, it meant waking up to the sound of birds instead of traffic, having time to create, and living in harmony with the land. The life I was meant to live. Over time, I built a life that felt right. I started writing, photographing, and filming the beauty of my surroundings. Slowly, my creativity flourished. What had once been a childhood passion turned into a meaningful way to share my experiences with the world. I also found my people, kindred spirits who understood the pull of a simpler life. In this isolated place, I formed deeper friendships than I ever had in the city. I even found love, proving to myself that the best connections happen when you are truly yourself. A different kind of wealth. I still have responsibilities, bills to pay, and challenges to overcome. But my life is no longer dictated by stress and expectations. I work less, earn less, but I have more time, more peace, and more connection to what truly matters. I've learned that simplicity is not about deprivation, but about making space for what brings true joy. In the end, we all have a choice. We can keep chasing a version of happiness that exhausts us, or we can slow down and listen to what our hearts have been telling us all along. This is my story of choosing a simple life. It may not be your story, but I hope it inspires you to trust yourself. Sometimes, the life we are meant to live is not the one we expected. It's the one that allows us to breathe. Life doesn't have to be complicated to be meaningful. In fact, sometimes the simplest moments hold the deepest joy. A warm cup of tea in the morning, the sound of the wind through the trees, the feeling of truly being where you are, these are the things that make life rich. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that we all deserve a life that feels right for us. Not a life that others expect, not a life that looks good on the outside, but a life that feels good on the inside. I hope my story has given you something to think about. Maybe it's a small shift in perspective, or maybe it's the courage to listen to that quiet voice inside you. Whatever it is, trust yourself. Your path is waiting. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and I'd love to share more stories and experiences with you. See you in the next video.